Well, hello there, dear goddess. Surprise. Oh, I'm being called to definitely really lean into the faith right now, really lean into my gifts and allow them to expand, to illuminate in this dark world in which we find ourselves these days. It's learning to recognize that we, each and every one of us, are the light in this dark. And that as this country is being drugged through the valley of the shadow of death currently, to trust that the light awaits us also on the other side. That we go through these dark valleys so that we may find our power and rise out of them. Rise out of the valleys stronger than when we came in to them. And that is what is unfolding in this world right now, in particular, this country of the United States of America. Or what some could very rightfully declare the divided states of America. The evil that is now seemingly ruling over us. As one myself who has been in a very dark place in my life for a long time. The sad truth is the current illegitimate, the one and only true illegitimate president now is the exact same personality as my former drug dealer pimp. So basically, my drug dealer pimp is our president. Isn't that funny? I mean, you got to find a joke in this somewhere, right? And I am definitely in this space where it's recognizing that right now, dear goddess, we all are being called to just stop watching right now, to disconnect, to pull back our energy, our resources, and stop feeding that evil. Stop giving it any of your attention, any of your energy. Because what it does is it sucks you in. It is truly an energy vampire. And I recognize this so very much. And so we each must take that responsibility for ourselves, which gives us the ability to respond rather than being at the mercy of our emotions. Because even I have been. I haven't the words as I'm watching people literally vote for and volunteer us for the same life that I crawled out of, fighting tooth and nail to get out of it. And then I realized that it's calling me to again get back to the things that I know and trust, to illuminate the truth, to rely on that, to give my attention to that far more than that which is the darkness. Because what we look for is what we find. And if we continue to look at all the things that are wrong, we will find that. If we continue to see how dark this world is right now, how gloomy and seemingly depressing this country is, then that's what we will continue to amplify. Even I know this. And every time we're sucked into these lower vibrations, we get caught up. We get caught up in it. So I've been called to do a special reading, and it may even come to where we start leaning into this every day. And I put something out every day for us. Not just my Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday regular readings. Because today is Friday. Friday, January 22nd. And so very much am I feeling this divide, this amplification of the evil, of the darkness. As I watch so many in support of it, not really even knowing what they're supporting. I am truly grateful that I have endured what I have endured in my life. Because we truly do not come to the light without knowing the dark. And as is true for this country, for this world, for all of humanity. I know this too shall pass. It is why so many of us are here. So many of us who are awakened, not woke, because there's a difference between awakened and awakening versus woke. Awakening is one who is in the space of asking questions and constantly seeing a bigger picture, a bigger picture, a bigger picture. One who is woke is simply regurgitating the narrative that they've been being fed under the guise of, well, doing good. Well, let's start here then. Right now we are in this rebirth space. As I've recently talked about in a video that I made actually a couple months ago about 3D, 4D, and 5D. Humanity and this world was the caterpillar in that caterpillar space. And there are those who are going to choose to stay in that caterpillar space, who want to continue to give away their power and stay attached to something out of their fear and choose not to become a butterfly. But there are those of us who know this is why we're here and that this is why the majority of humanity is here as well, is to go through this rebirth. We are in this cocoon. This is why it feels so dark and feels so hopeless, so icky, just so seemingly unbearable, excruciating. Because you're in the middle of a rebirth. We all are. And you get to decide the kind of butterfly you're becoming. What does the future look like for you? Because we are creating this. And this evil in control of this world is only temporary. It's only temporary. This is the darkness before the dawn. And it is always darkest before the dawn. And that is why it seems so dark now. And in this rebirth space, it's important to realize that all things are possible. And I assure you that even when it seems impossible, because right now, I admit, Goddess, it feels, my shadow is telling me that it is impossible. That as my twin flame and I are creating a life, a vision together, finally again, that my shadow wants to tell me that us being together is not possible. That this new earth that we have come to create is not possible. But in my soul, I know that all things are possible. Because in the realm of possibility, all things are possible. Miracles happen every single day. We simply have to get out of our own way and allow for them to flow in. Which again means to stop paying attention, stop feeding your energy to the darkness, to the evil. Stop. Look away. And turn instead to the light. Turn instead into what you are creating. Turn instead to the new earth energy. It's okay to sever connections and ties with people that are weighing you down. That is what self-preservation is about. The species wouldn't exist were it not for self-preservation. That is what they have sought to remove from us and call us selfish, instead of recognizing that there is a difference between selfish, or between unhealthy selfish and healthy selfish. It's recognizing that if you have someone who is literally holding down the entire ship, that one, by way of natural selection, must be sacrificed so all others can survive. So we all can go on, and that is how it is. It does not mean that you are heartless or uncaring or a bitch. It simply means that you accept the way the universe works. You accept and surrender to God's divine plan, because, hello, we didn't invent natural selection. God did. Even in nature. And I, growing up on a farm in Kansas, have watched this. I watched this growing up. When there would be born a baby in a litter, a kitten, a puppy, a bunny, whatever it was, when any of them were born and they were too weak and pulling vital resources, particular the mother's milk, away from those who had the greatest chance of surviving, that one was pushed aside. It's called natural selection. And right now, it's so important to listen to that intuition to guide you, to stop listening to the programs running through your mind that make you to feel bad, even when something inside you tells you that something isn't right about this. Yet you're being ripped apart inside of you because, oh my goodness, you don't want to feel bad. You don't want someone to judge you. If you're constantly giving your power away to what everybody else thinks, then you have no power of your own. You have no power to be tuning into your intuition, to be tuning into your power, your knowing. Because right now, discernment is the word. It's the theme right now. Because all is not as it seems. And this is why right now your intuition is going to be your most powerful and important ally. Because things are certainly going to get a little bit more insane from here on. I mean, look at where we've been, right? Reach out. Recognize who your friends are. The ones who don't say one thing to your face, but then another behind your back. It is a time to really, truly reveal to yourself those authentic connections, those authentic friendships. Discernment, goddess. Discernment. Be your own best friend first. Listen to you. Listen to the nudges inside of you. If something doesn't feel right, then guess what? It's not. You don't need to know what exactly it is, because sometimes, or a lot of times, we don't get to. Most often, we don't find out until after the fact. How often have you said to yourself, I had a feeling about that person. I knew it. And then you just made excuses. Listen to your inner guidance, goddess. Be your own best friend. Trust that miracles, as I've already said, miracles happen. In that moment when you think all hope is lost, when you think you have lost your best friend because they have chosen to turn on you during these times, without realizing that they are simply acting out as they've been taught. Their brains, their minds hijacked by those seeking to keep humanity enslaved, by those from whom we as light workers, as twin flame travelers, are here to break humanity free from. It's best to sever the ties and just walk away, because it doesn't mean that it's for forever. It just means that it's for now. Because right now, you and I, we do not vibrate at the same frequency. We do not see the world at all the same. Because miracles happen, and that includes the miracle of awakening. Most will awaken in due time. Right now, it's not your job, goddess. The sheep, you're not here for them. Even I had this come in so many directions from me 2 days ago. Because me, as an intuitive empath, as someone who spent so much of her life being a doormat, making excuses for every single person, saying, but that's my friend, and that's my friend, and that's my friend. But when it came down to it, they were not my friend. And as a result, it showed me that, oh, I wasn't being my own friend either. I was allowing this behavior. I was allowing this person to be this in my experience, with me, to show me. But you awakened. That can certainly be called a miracle. You awakened and you unplugged, and you now see this much bigger picture. And you know miracles can happen. Because even you are a miracle. Allow yourself to receive them. And right now, you, me, we are all going through some excruciating growing pains. Really in that tested space, greatest of all time, of faith, a belief in the unseen, which is why I'm encouraging you to figure out what you are creating for yourself. Even I'm in this space going, who am I choosing to be? I am reinventing myself. I am going through a massive purge in my life and recognizing that I've been making excuses for certain people. Because why? Because I feel sorry for them. I don't want to leave them behind. Without recognizing that I'm actually then feeling sorry for myself and holding myself back while they are refusing to rise up into their power. We do not help someone else by crawling in to their sinking ship. Rather, we extend a hand from our solid and stable ship, and we pull them onto ours. But they must climb that rope. They must grab on, and if they do not, that is not any fault of yours. You gave them the opportunity. You did your part. This is what free will is all about, dear goddess. And right now, that is very rapidly being stripped of us. Our most innate, God-given birthright of free will is rapidly being stripped. And there are those celebrating it in their slumber of believing in their wokeness that they're doing good. That's what all of this growth is about. To be able to step back and go, okay, Since we are most like the people we hang ourselves around, who do I really want to be around? That is very much growth. And as usual with this card, it's rare that this card comes through for me as someone else being your beloved. As I've already said, you are your own best friend. You are your own beloved. You must be healthy, selfish. Because then you set an example for someone else to be taking responsibility for themselves. That is what healthy, selfish is all about. It's recognizing that I've got to take care of me first. Because if I don't, nobody else is. That's why when people want all these handouts from the government and want the government to take care of them, it's a complete and utter acquiescence of power to something outside of themselves. And when it comes down to it, when that is stripped of them, that handout, they will be left with nothing. Nothing. And will have no one to blame but themselves. So you see, in the end, you are the catalyst. You are your own best friend. You have to love you more. Now, unhealthy selfish is saying, I baked a whole pan of Lime bars and I'm going to eat them all and not share them with anybody. Even though I can make another 20 freaking pans if I wanted to. Healthy selfish or unhealthy selfish is saying that I have $100 and I'm going to eat this gourmet food while you sit over there and starve. And I'm going to eat it in front of you. So you see, there can be a fine line at times. But healthy selfish is imperative to the survival and the thriving of this species. You are your beloved. I don't know about you, Goddess, but I needed to see this one. It even says, a positive outcome is assured. The light does win. Just as I had to learn in my life, having come through so much darkness, having lived in so much darkness for so long, I know that I had to go through that abyss, that extended, excruciating darkness for so long so that I could finally wake up to the light that is in me. The light was waiting on the other side of that darkness. Because it was me that was the light when I got to the other side of it. You are the one you are waiting for, Goddess. You are. And I assure you that the good does win, that the light does win. Right now, it appears as though the darkness has won. It does. But I say to you again, it is always darkest before the dawn. The energy of failure so often precedes that of success. And right now, I agree. It definitely feels like the light has lost, that humanity has lost. But this is temporary. Soon we shall celebrate as the darkness, the evil that has been ruling this world, that is even more so seemingly ruling this world now, is cast out. It is why we are here. And this time of great doubt is to strengthen our faith. So, dear Goddess, begin to celebrate now. Begin to celebrate knowing that the light has already won. And that is why the evil is fighting so hard now. Is because the light wins. Good wins. God, source, universe, great spirit, great mystery, whatever label you call it, it wins. Not Satan. Not the evil. Just know the higher they go, the harder they fall. And right now, the evil really thinks it has won. Really thinks it is the one in control here. But it is not. So I challenge you, dear goddess. I challenge you to take this weekend and disconnect, to reconnect, to really truly nurture that friendship with yourself, to hone in on your intuition. Because through that intuition, again, is going to reveal to you the endless, limitless possibilities. Even the word impossible says, I'm possible. Dear goddess, the power is and always has been in your hands, because it's always been inside you. Namaste.